But as it is now, then you're welcome to bring your signed javelins on meeting nights.
Yeah, I mean, just, yeah.
Whitney would probably always have the information if we're gonna have a meeting change. She's always the girl I call. Right?
Aye. All in favor?
For regular special meetings, that's what we're talking about.
No,
And
I just
she's
wanted
taking care of that.
to move it so she could place a sign
Right.
until we had a better
Right.
way of informing.
Yeah, I guess we don't need a roll call. So we did get a confirmation on that.
Yeah.
Just got it. Other new business. Business. Comment. Highway.
We'll get you all copy, yeah.
I guess what I want to do is offer the courtesy of the floor to anybody here tonight. Now, Ms. Bartley is here, and I know that she's kind of carrying the ball here, so to speak. Mr. Martin was here and he left. But if there are things that this board is doing, or that I'm doing in particular, that leads people in this community to believe that I'm somehow or other holding secret meetings, conducting clandestine government, or any of those kinds of things, I think tonight is a great time for somebody to share that with me so that I can fix whatever these bad things that I'm doing. I'd be glad to work on them if I know what they are, because I'm getting a little tired of innuendo and accusations about secret this, and you don't do that. On the rare occasion that we didn't get the meeting thing done quite right, they're beating us to death over it, as though it were done intentionally. I just need a little direction. If somebody will help me in that way, and anybody that's here that can do that, I'd be glad to listen and try to mend my ways and have a more open, friendly, good government here. And that's really what I like to do.
The medias were contacted. So again, representation, yes, that there was a non-posted meeting on the 15th of November, absolutely. Will I make another mistake in the next 6 years? Absolutely, I will. But my challenge is,
You only got two.
I don't believe anyone, I would invite anyone, members that you may know of the public, to cite one other example where there has been some non-announced meeting, and I'm not aware of it.
I feel that
Okay.
we need to sort of address this because I think my statement probably brought some of this up. And I know the difficulty Whitney's in when you have a weekly paper and, changes are made and those things have to go to press a week in advance. It seems to me that you have 1,300 people in this town, and if Whitney gets a call, and she obviously can't publish the fact that there's a meeting because of the fact the press doesn't come out, there's no way Whitney by herself can let the public know, because the public needs to know. I understand the open meetings law means to let the media know and to let the people know. And, while she may get a phone call, okay, the meeting's been moved up a week, there really isn't a vehicle short of having a big sign like that that is really out there that you can't miss. There's always little pieces of paper on the door, but if you're driving down the main drag, you're not going to stop and pull over and go up and look at the notices every day. And, that's why I went out and spent my money to buy this big, ugly sign. I'd much rather see a nice wooden sign like Bruce makes, where you could go out and Debbie or anybody could go out and just put some letters, town board meeting Tuesday night. So I can't imagine why we couldn't have a sign in front of the town hall like you have in many town halls or churches, where anybody in town driving by, anybody walking by goes, oh, there's a town meeting tomorrow night. That's not accusing anybody of secrecy. It's like, why can't we just know what's going on?
But again, I'm open to almost anything.
Yeah, I'm just going to say, I'm not, I don't think Margaret was accusing anyone of anything. I think this was to help, and I'll tell you the truth, I live right across the street, and a lot of times, I don't know, it's my own fault, I realize that.
Yeah.
But if, I know, but if I see that sign, even if I'm driving by, I'll know what it will mean. Aha, there's a town board meeting tonight.
But on normal meeting nights, like tonight, I think it's incumbent sometimes upon the citizenry to understand it's posted on a regular weekly basis. Our monthly meetings, unless otherwise notified, are on the third Tuesday of the month. I don't understand why I would have to be expected to put a special sign out there every month on the regularly scheduled time. It's posted in her paper weekly.
I think the fact that people are volunteering to put these other little signs out just for one day. You keep it in your garage and you put it out that day and you pull it back in that night. Those, as you're driving by, they were just like, you know, the signs we had out during the election. It just, it's a reminder, because the third Tuesday is not always the 15th, or it's not always it floats around so much. And people just get caught up in their lives. I think looking around this room at the number of people here, if you look back at last December's meeting, a week before Christmas, I think there were 2 visitors at that meeting. So just the signs that went out today had an impact.
And I think that's great. I love to see people come here. But let me point out here, I do not think that I'm being paranoid here to respond, and I think this is a great public forum, is a great place here to respond to this. When I continue to see things that you put out, Ms. Bartley, and Mr. Martin has put out, saying that y'all are going to strive that we can get some open government. To me, after I read that a number of times, that's an indication to me, but at least by innuendo, if not by accusation, that you don't have open government now. So that's what I'm asking for. If we don't have it, help me. I'll help you get it.
Okay,
But don't keep saying that you're going to strive to get it unless you must mean that we don't have it now.
Well, we didn't have a video camera until tonight.
Well, you could have. Anybody that you brought it in.
I know.
I mean,
I'm surprised you all haven't insisted upon it for your own benefit. I also put a copy.
It's not an issue with me. I'm glad you got it. I'm stick with it. It's fine. But if we didn't have one, that's fine too. It's not an issue with me.
Okay, but for some people it is, because other towns have had it for a long time.
Good.
And that came
That's
up
great.
when I campaigned. And I also made a copy of all the town minutes that, so far, and have put it at the public library.
As far as video cameras, no one's ever come in here, at least in the couple of years that I've been here. And I assume prior to that, no one's come in and asked for video copies of our meetings. There's been no demand.
See,
Nothing
that's
wrong with
what-
it, but nobody's come
2
in.
years ago there were.
You know, you can't hold this board
I'm
accountable.
not holding you accountable. I'm saying, here's another way to make this available. People will watch it or not watch it as they want. I'm always just trying to help. I'm trying to say, I see a need, and I'm willing to try to help. I come here before you and say, I'll do this. So it's all about stuff that's just available, making it easier for people to be involved. I don't believe people in this town are apathetic, but I do think they need information. And everything that I've done is simply making public information more accessible. We're in the 21st century here now. Some towns have their minutes on their website. Our town did not, so I put them up on the internet. For instance, the need for people to serve on the zoning planning board. I know you tried running an ad, didn't get much response, but when I began talking to people, people said, I want to be on it, I'd love to be on it. Mr. Testa here, Evelyn, a number of people just said, well, if I knew, so you can't count on a little tiny ad run once in a while. You need to talk, you need to communicate.